Oh, shit, dude. What the f*** is that? That nigga got blue juice. The f*** is that? I thought that was Wawa in that some bitch, man.
It's a little sugar-free.
What the fuck?
You got some
Why does he
little
always
Sonic
do
there?
The little Sonic. The little Sonic.
That's Sonic piss.
Juice joints.
That's Crip juice.
That's Sonic piss. Sonic was up there like, or that's grounded Smurfs. The fuck is he doing? Him and Gargamel made a deal. Dude bought 10 Smurfs off Gargamel.
It's good Smurf piss.
And grounded them up. That's ground Smurf. That's that Adam Sandler vampire. DWI episode 4. Thank you guys for coming back. We appreciate all the love y'all showing out there. Just want to send a couple shots out. Shout out to our cameraman Bees. Listen, my brother, we still keeping the journey going. We appreciate everything that you do for the show, keeping us looking fresh for the viewers at home. Another shot I want to send out is to Spoolie Miles.
Yeah.
He's the guy in charge of our artwork. We appreciate you drawing the logo, keeping us looking popping on the logo. DWI sends an extended shout out to all the viewers at home that's loving us, that's showing us love, that's sharing, subscribing, liking. We just ask you guys to continuously show the love, support, and we'll continuously try to bring it to you every single week. Fellas, right into it.
All right.
I'm Illy, that's Wax, that's Dude. All together we're DWI. We appreciate the love. Listen, fellas, I want to get right into it. Last week's game. Y'all remember that doggone game, fellas? That shit was a nail biter. For y'all at home, if y'all don't know, we're bona fide Pittsburgh Steelers fans through and through. We've been Pittsburgh Steelers fans since birth. I want to say we came out with the black and yellow on. You dig what I'm saying? Like Wiz Khalifa wasn't even born when we was born, but they was playing that when we were all three born. That's how much love we got for the Steelers. It was a gruesome victory, fellas.
Right.
It was ugly. It was a nail biter and it was a cat fight. Well, in this reference, a dog fight. But they wasn't at the pound. They came right down here, got that ass spanked.
Right.
And they had to go home. Now listen, remember where y'all heard it first. I predicted the score. I'm a cocky motherfucker when it comes to the Steelers. I said we was going to win, but not only that, I gave a score. It was 23-17. Granted, we didn't win by that, but we took the victory home.
Right.
And for that, I'm grateful.
He tried to take credit for the Vic.
No, I just wanted to let y'all know that I called it. When y'all was too busy hating MC.
I was about to say I was shaky. I didn't know if we was gonna win that game or not. To be honest, that's why I couldn't talk shit. Like it didn't feel like we dominated that game, but it was a dub.
Yeah,
right. And it was one of those wins that kind of felt like a loss in a way, because the offense just looks so. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they want to do.
They look lethargic. Like
I
was just going through the motion.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going for with this offense, man. Matt Canada, I know. I don't.
Go
want
ahead,
to
man.
Keep
Get it off
it.
your chest, bro.
I don't want to keep saying it, but this dude is not the guy. It's just not him.
I want you to do this. I want you to break it down. Tell us why you feel this way.
Because the offense is so predictable. I seen a couple videos. I watched videos and I watched some of the tape too. I rewatched the games.
Okay.
And if you go back and look, and I seen a dude break it down, 90% of the time that Kenny Pickett is under center, they run the ball. 80% of the time that Kenny Pickett's in shotgun, they pass the ball.
Okay.
So it's not hard to tell what we're gonna do. And if you see him under center, all you gotta do is load the box, and they're gonna be coming right at Najee's head.
So what you're saying is Canada's showing our cards.
Exactly.
I never looked at it that way.
On top of the fact that Najee runs like he got sand in his shoes.
Yeah. Here you go, bro. Look, as you can see, I'm representing the boy Najee, so I'm expecting a big game. I'm a big running back, fellas. You know what I mean? I did that thing. You know what I mean? I ran the rock.
Right.
They used to call him Mr. 4.5 a carry. You know what I'm saying? 4.5 a scrape.
Yeah.
I'm getting at least 4.5 a carry. And if you need a reference, look up 1996 Newcastle versus McKeesport. Your boy scored the last touchdown. I think I had about 96 of them things with 20 carries.
Right.
But you got to understand this. I was a fullback. Fullbacks aren't supposed to get that many carries. You know, we set the block for the halfback or the tailback to be able to do what he does.
Right.
But I made so much of a difference on that field, I feel like, that they had to give me the ball. And that's how I raise my kids. I want them to see, and what I mean by them is I want the people, the coaches, the public, the crowd, your fans, to see what I see.
Right.
I don't want the coaches to say, oh, well, being that he's a part of this movement, we want to put your kid in there. You're not doing my kid any justice. I want him to be able to show it on his own so they can see what I see.
You want him to get it off his own merit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Najee, bro. That's why I'm so like, when it comes down to it, he's a big guy, man. He's supposed to be able to dominate.
But he's not.
I can't disagree, bro.
He runs like he's stuck in the mud, like Artex.
See, but then
like
if I
Artex,
bruh,
I feel like a Treyu looking back at this dude, like, get the fuck up and get moving. You're not gonna die if you don't want to. But he just stayed. How you do it, Wax? How did he stay in there? He just stuck.
He stayed there and sunk. Like he refused to move. I mean, like
fucking Artex.
It just sunk in like some quicksand.
Artex hairs.
That wasn't a Land Before Time reference, was it?
No, that's
Never Ending Story.
Oh my goodness, Never Ending Story. That was a spooky look. I'm sorry.
That shit was.
That was some spooky shit. Like watching it as a 6-year-old, like it wasn't one of those things I just heard and put on and was enjoying it. They had all kind of stuff. Right. Nickelodeon was just a big thing when we were 6. Spin Wheel was out. You still had
Spin
Wheel with the boy Ichabod Crane. Or not Ichabod. Was it Ichabod? I kept saying no. Ebenezer T. Squint. That little green puppet that was sitting up there. That was out. So like watching Never Ending Story, that was a luxury because that was on the paid channels back in the day.
Right. But look, we'll get back to what scared us back in the day. But like, what's scaring me now is this Pittsburgh offense, man.
Right.
Like, I don't know what they're doing. It's driving me crazy, man. It's driving me nuts.
I feel like you want to blame it on Matt Canada, like 96%.
It's mostly him. I'm saying the players need to step up and need to do some blocking and everything else.
Yeah.
Wax, what's your input on this whole situation?
I kind of feel the same way he does. Like,
you agree with dude?
Yeah, I think the players should execute. They should hold their blocks, which they're not really doing. But like, I think it's also the play calling that they're not motivated to block or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we need to get rid of that dude immediately.
So you feel like he's calling a bad play in the right situation
all the time?
Because even when we have a couple good plays, he runs a stupid ass jet sweep and puts us right back to where we started. Now Kenny's in third and 10,
when
third and 8.
And 1.
Yeah, it'll be some shit like that. It's like, come on, bro, you're handcuffing the whole offense. You're putting us back behind the 8 ball when you don't have to. We got to stay on schedule.
Right.
Get that 3 yards. Get that 4 yards.
Get that
so it's 3rd and 2. So Kenny don't got to go and do nothing crazy because he's still a young dude. And Kenny, don't get me wrong, Kenny's not playing that good either. Because Kenny's missing dudes. Kenny's throwing the ball behind people, and he's not playing the best either. So you got to take that into account. Like, all right, my quarterback's young.
Right.
I don't allow him to make any adjustments on the line, so he got to go up there and run what I tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in good positions. Put him in a good situation so we can succeed.
I always feel like this. A coach's job is to put the player in the best place to make the plays. I've said it. You'll hear me say it a million times. And you feel like Canada's not doing that.
I think he's doing the opposite. He's putting us in bad positions.
Let me ask you this, Wax.
All right.
How do you feel about that play that took Nick Chubb out the game?
Ooh, that was gruesome.
Yeah, man.
I didn't want to see that. You know what I mean? Because they didn't show it.
Yeah.
So I had to go back on YouTube and look it up, man, for like the first couple of minutes. But that was ugly, man. Like.
Now, didn't he hurt himself back in 15 in college with that same knee?
Yeah. Yup. So he's coming. What is that? Like a second
injury.
Surgery
coming
up.
And that last one, the one he did before, was pretty much the same thing. I think he tore all 3 He tore the MCL, the ACL, and the PCU. I think that's what it's called. PCL.
Look, you got him ordering pizza to the PCU. They was like, we down here.
But he tore all three of them joints the last time. So I'm sure he tore all three of them this time again. So I don't know, man. Shout out to Nick Chubb.
Shout out to Nick Chubb.
It sucks 'cause, like, I had Nick Chubb on my team too, on my fantasy squad. Yeah, my fantasy squad's snake bitten. I had J.K. Dobbins and him, and they both got hurt for the season.
Right.
I'm like, damn, my running back game is trash now.
Right.
But oh well. Shout out to Nick Chubb. Like,
Shout out to the
if he
Chubb
wouldn't have got
family.
hurt, we might have lost that game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this: do you think he got insurance on his leg, like how McGahee did?
I don't know. He might.
Y'all remember? You remember McGahee was a part of that Miami the U.
Yeah.
He broke his femur.
Bad.
Yeah.
I remember Ryan Clark busting his head open though. I remember that shit, knocking that nigga smooth out in the playoffs. I was like, ugh.
See, busting your head open, that's an old school term.
Right. That nigga went for his brain.
That's up there with getting bricked. Like,
He
got
crack
bricked.
that egg, man. Like, and he definitely did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He tried to kill McGahee on that. Shout out Ryan Clark, man.
Well, that's
Steeler
cousin.
for
That's
life,
family.
baby. You're right.
And I got a cousin named Ryan Clark. Shout out, cousin. But listen, we're going to stay in the same football wheelhouse, but we're going to take it down a step.
Okay.
Colorado University, where Dion's at.
That was a bad game for them yesterday.
Now, they played Oregon, and Oregon has been, like, snapping this year. They're probably one of the most offensively scored teams in the college football brackets as far as, college football is concerned.
Yeah, they're lighting the board up. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I was just going to say, how do you guys feel about, Dion getting not defamed, but, them taking him down a peg by, like, the ass whooping that they served up on that platter on Saturday? Dude, what you think?
They got a target on their back now. You do all that talking, and Dion and them do a lot of talking, and everybody's marked. Whoever playing Colorado is marking that on their schedule. Like, we got to do it. So it's like you put yourself in that position. They might have needed their ass whoop like this just to get back in
to reality.
Just
humbling.
Right, just to humble themselves. Like, okay, look, this is what it is now. You're playing fucking football. Let's go.
Yeah, because with Dion being in Colorado, it's like a circus on the sidelines now, man. You got your who's, you know what I mean? Like NBA stars, you got rappers, you got like actors, everybody coming up over trying to be on the sidelines because they know it's popping.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but now you have to produce. You can't just like floss.
You can't just look good.
Right. You got
As
to
Brewster
play.
would say, you can't just smell like soap. You got to come clean.
Right.
Do you feel, Wax, that they put themselves in this position, meaning teams that play them moving forward are looking at them like, oh shit, if Oregon can do that, just imagine what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Come next week. Like the champ off of Harlem Nights. come next week, I'm knocking somebody the fuck out.
Exactly.
So I might have to agree with you guys, man, because Denzel, here I go again. Dion, he's put himself in a position like, I heard a reference, it was probably one of the cleanest references to some shit like this. He said, man, that brother done slid down the razor blade and landed in the alcohol river.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you do shit like that, and you talky, they gonna want to see what you got.
Right.
Being that you got the biggest mouth, we want to see what you all about. If you produce and you deliver, class in session.
Right.
You become the teacher. If not, we gonna have to teach you a couple things. You see what I'm saying?
And I think it'll come. I don't know if it's going to be this season. They're not going to. They were never going to go undefeated. You know what I mean?
I kind of thought so before that boy got hurt.
I knew they weren't because they just didn't have. They don't have the big boys up front. Like Dion's only been there a year. He turned over pretty much the whole team, but when you got to get them big dogs up front, and he didn't really get a chance to get them big dogs like he really needed to. Like them Alabama, you know how Alabama, and even though Alabama ain't doing that great, and Clemson just lost too, but you get them big dogs, that's where it starts and ends in college football, man. Once you start being able to get those, and I think he will next year.
Right.
Then you're in business because he's going to get the skilled players. I have no doubt.
In order to get them, you have to have a decent type of draft process.
What draft?
Not draft, recruiting process.
Yeah, and I'm sure Dion, just imagine Dion coming, sitting in your 18, Dion comes sitting and talking to you and your family.
Yeah.
Your mom gonna be like, "You're going to Colorado."
Right. Because this guy showed up and showed out.
He got a shirt on that says, "I ain't hard to find."
Right.
He's
That's
talking
dope.
to them.
That's
come,
dope.
Come talk to me. Then let's see what we could do. You know what I mean?
And I really think he cares about them kids too. More some other coaches don't really give a damn.
Well, he's prime time, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I think he really cares. A lot of coaches don't. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
They're looking at what can help their program opposed to what can help the kids.
Right. Instead of helping them grow to be men. So shout out to Dion. Hopefully he can get that shit going.
Shout out to Dion.
Yeah. I mean,
That'll be all right.
Since last year, he already doubled their win count. You know what I mean? He already turned it around.
Triple,
yeah. You just got to keep going, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And know that this is going to be a lot of pressure because, like you said, he talked all that talk. Now you got to walk it. You know what I mean?
And they got a target on their back. Every team that plays them has got them marked on their calendar. They got it circled because if you play them, you're gonna be on TV.
Right.
It's gonna be televised. It's gonna be hella press.
National TV. Everybody's gonna know. You're gonna get some eyes on you, and that might be your ticket to the big leagues.
Damn right.
Yeah.
You ball out in that game.
Right.
Being an opposing DB, opposing receiver, even a lineman.
Right.
You got the world watching.
You damn
You
right.
know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Dion. I think they can, at least get into a major bowl. You know what I mean?
Nice.
But yeah, man, Dion, shout out Florida State, man.
Shout out to Dion and Florida State.
Yeah,
I say it begrudgingly because y'all did kick some ass this week, bro.
Yeah, we beat on Clemson in we got the victory in overtime.
Hell yeah, man. And that's a humongous win for you guys, man.
That's the first time we beat them in a while, man. But we just got to keep it moving.
No doubt.
What place y'all in number 4?
Yeah, number 4. I think I know we're behind Michigan and Georgia, but I don't know who third is.
And my team's terrible, so we're not even going. I like Pitt.
He likes Geneva. He's like, listen, I represent the town that's in the college that's in our town.
Right.
I'm a Geneva fan. I'm a tornado.
No, he likes trade school football. He was like, yeah, Triangle Tech, they got a football team down there.
What y'all do? Who's y'all play?
We beat ass like normal. We played Rutgers.
Okay.
We pounded them, man. We held them under double digits.
Right.
So that's what we do. We deliver. We show up and we deliver.
Right.
Go Michigan! Shout out to all my brothers representing, and I mean my real brothers, my family. You know what I mean? Because we all Michigan fans. Matter of fact, shout out to the 313 because I got family all over, man. Mm-hmm. Big time family out there, man.
Yeah. Big ups Eminem.
See, here you go, man. I'm gonna get Trick down here. Keep it up.
Shout out
Trick.
It's gonna be like
Shout
a
out.
fly zone in Beaver Falls.
Hell yeah, I'm shutting everything down. Even that little airport y'all got up by Illie's work. You know the little Chippewa airport up there. He gonna be ain't nobody moving in or out of here. So go ahead and piss Trick off, Wax. I'm getting him out of here. Yeah, man. Trick is, man. Listen. For all the industry, man, Trick is a spooky cat, man. You know what I mean? He got a lot of influence, man, a lot of game, man, a lot of powerful. He got a lot of power in the city of Detroit. So shout out to my man Trick. But listen, we gonna switch it up just a tiny bit, man. I want to ask you guys this, as far as shit from back in the day, because there's a list of the scariest shit that you've probably ever seen or ever witnessed, whether it be movies, videos, entertainment, any of that shit. I want to know what y'all scariest experience was as a kid, like watching videos or, like what scared you the most as like a young person growing up.
Man, shit, Large Marge. That used to scare the shit out
From
of me.
Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, Large Marge.
When she had her spew.
Me. Bro, and then she broke down that story and then told him, like, whenever he was getting out the truck, like, tell him Large Marge sent you.
Listen,
man.
Large Marge was a scary motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have fucked
with
with her.
her.
And she was a truck driver. Like, what female did you know back in the 80s that was a truck driver?
Right.
That lets you know Large Marge had a couple chipped ham sandwiches in the back of that damn truck. Wet ones. Like, why are these sandwiches so wet? Shit. That sound like a damn burner and shit. That motherfucker had his damn 45 and shit. Now dig it. Dude, what about you?
Probably Children of the Corn.
Now
Listen,
Malachi.
y'all gotta understand. When I first watched that shit, we was in Georgia. My family lived right next to some cornfields.
Okay.
I swear that now that I'm thinking about it, they did this shit on purpose. They had to. Shout out to my family in Georgia, but they had to have put this on purpose because they live, directly next to cornfields. And like,
How old were you?
I'm probably like 6 or 7, however long, whenever that shit came out on tape. And like, man, I'm watching that shit, and all I can think about is this is happening. They're coming for us.
In the cornfield next to y'all.
In the cornfield next to us. They're there. The children live there. Malachi and all of them motherfuckers is right there.
I
was scared as shit.
Understand this. I didn't fuck with the name Malachi. If I got introduced to a Malachi, that was our first and last time meeting.
Right.
Like, hey, this is my boy Malachi. I'm like, oh shit.
I ain't fuck with Malachi's, Ezekiel's, none of them niggas, man.
That was a rough piece growing up. And then seeing that damn ground move and shit with that
That's
bread.
the part.
Bruh, that shit scared the hell out of me.
What was it for you?
Man, there was a series of events, man. There was this movie called Witchboard. Now, this is after Poltergeist.
You pull up all kind of old obscure shit.
Bruh, Poltergeist was a scare. I'll get that old man to come and put a curse on you right now.
Poltergeist is crazy. Yeah. But Witchboard, I never heard of that shit.
It was with the girl that played Reagan and what the hell? When her head was spinning
The Exorcist?
Exorcist. She was older, Linda Blair.
Right.
And it was about a Ouija board. Now, mind you, I'm in the crib. We're all sitting around watching it and shit.
Right.
When I go to sleep, because like I fall asleep, because scary shit, I used to like cover my eyes until like I fell asleep. I woke back up, that movie's still playing, and nobody's in the house.
Yeah, no.
Bruh, it was one of the scariest shits that I ever experienced. It felt like the end of the world. Like I went outside, none of my friends was outside. It was like 7 o'clock, and like normally we had a vicious game of kickball or something. This is on a weekend, and I woke up and that movie's playing, and they're fucking with that Ouija board, and nobody's in there.
Yeah.
So I come back in the house, I yell my mom's name, and she's downstairs, and I'm like, whew. But other than that, I always feel like somebody's watching me. That video,
yeah,
that scared the shit out of me.
Like somebody's watching me. I can't sleep. I'm in the dope game. I think these holding niggas up to give me, man.
But
that's
yeah,
man. That's the one he was scared of. The Master P version. the P version.
I was like, they're selling dope. But nah, man. What was his name? I wanted to say Orange Juice Jones. What was that cat's name? Rockwell, that's what it was. And then there was another one. It was by this cat named Taco. Putting on a Ritz.
Yeah.
Man, when that motherfucker hit that Andre 3000 shit, man, that motherfucker start moving that shit. Bruh, that motherfucker had on 2 pounds of makeup. He looked like a damn genie and was running down the damn steps saying, putting on a Ritz. That son of a bitch scared the hell out of me, man.
The first couple of Friday the 13th, not Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. The first couple Freddy's used to get me.
How easy was it to go to sleep after that? When you knew he was waiting on you?
Not at all, but you couldn't stop it. You already knew because you got to sleep, and that's when he gets you. How many do you wake up like, oh shit, I'm dead?
How many times did you wake up thinking that you was in Nightmare on Elm Street after you watched that movie going to bed? Like, that fucked me up.
Yeah, I wasn't fucking with that, man. That shit had me shook. You know
was it scarier than Gremlins? Not the Gizmo version. I'm talking about when they start popping out of Gizmo.
The first one?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, the second one was kind of funny.
Because they had characters.
Corny. Yeah, it was kind of corny and shit. But
Stripe?
Oh man,
bruh, Stripe was one of them cats that you just didn't want to see on in a dark night, being all like 2'3". Like
killer.
I thought he bit. Like I was like, man, Stripe's gonna bite you and turn you into something.
He definitely is.
Bruh, that's some spooky ass shit, man.
What about Critters? Remember Critters?
Yeah, Critters used to scare the shit out of me too, man.
That's back when boobs were plentiful on TV.
Well, that's when you used to view them as boobs.
Boobs. Good old 80s boobs.
Shout out the 80s boobs.
Shout out the 80s boobs.
Because they would cover their boobs up oh so slow, like.
Shout out 80s boobs. You got us through.
Yeah, they did. Couple Friday nights when everybody else was off living their life and we was the younger ones at home. Like, oh shit, there's gonna be some 80s boob on tonight.
Or the squiggle through the squiggly lines.
Hell yeah, you see like
check it off through the squiggly lines and savages.
Those shits held a motherfucker down and shit till we got girlfriends and shit. Like, man, it's like I got a girlfriend here.
Cinemax.
Shout out to Cinemax. Shout out to those cable boxes that you could rig up, that you had to pay $65 and had free cable for 9 years.
Right. Listen, man, I never had one of those and I was so jealous.
We did.
I was jealous.
And it was in my mom's room. Like, she kept it in there and shit. Right. Like, what good is it in there? Y'all's always out here. Now, let me ask y'all this. Speaking of movies, there was something I watched on Vlad. It was about Denzel Washington versus Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Michael Jai White was getting interviewed. And Michael Jai White made an interesting point that I feel that was very relevant. He said that Denzel, as an accomplished actor, was great. But Samuel L. Jackson can play Denzel roles. Denzel couldn't, he couldn't duplicate that. He couldn't play Samuel L. Jackson roles.
Right.
Which got me to thinking, dude, do you feel like Denzel's, I'm not going to say a better actor because, like, we're not about that. That's another show. That's gossip. We're just being able to give the flowers properly as they're designed.
Right.
So do you feel that Denzel's more of an impactful actor than Sammy as far as Universal-wise? Can you put him in the same roles? Can you switch them? Are they interchangeable?
No, I mean, like, you really, no. You can't put them in the same roles because some roles are just tailor-made.
Could you see Denzel playing Gator?
No, like I said, some roles are just tailor-made for Samuel L. Jackson. But if you switch that, if you try to put Samuel L. Jackson in Denzel's roles, they don't pop the same way.
Right.
Like, you can't put Samuel and Glory and it won't pop the same. It wouldn't have popped the same way.
What, you talking about the crying scene when he was sitting up there?
He'd like, stop motherfucking whipping me. He'd have snapped out.
He'd have grabbed the whip and shit.
Right, he'd have snapped out. But, like,
can you put Denzel on Snakes on the Plane? Get the...
you could, because
these motherfucking shanks off this motherfucking plane. You sound like a Humphrey Bogart type.
Because the movie wasn't that good anyway. He probably he'd have made the movie better.
Okay, Black Snake Bones.
It wouldn't have been called Snakes on the Plane.
Could you see Denzel playing a scruffy ass fucking black dude with a hole in his natural?
No.
Having Christina Ricci all tied up with that chain around her waist.
But could you see Samuel L. Malcolm X?
Denzel looks like Malcolm X. That's not fair.
All right. Well, can you see him playing Man on Fire and making it pop the way it did, or Training Day?
No. Well, Training Day, yes.
Would it have popped though? Would it have been what it was?
Popped? You mean as far as being like a box office smash?
Exactly.
Probably
as far as being Oscar winning.
Probably not. I'd have to agree with you on that. Probably not.
Shout out to both of them.
Yeah, because they're definitely accomplished actors.
I'm kind of 50-50. I don't know if, but I like Denzel acting.
Calling Denzel.
That's his real name.
But go ahead.
No, that's all good. I was about to say, I think it's 50-50. I don't know if he could play a couple Samuel L. roles.
Right.
I couldn't see him in Pulp Fiction.
That's what I'm saying. He couldn't, be working for Mr. Marcellus Wallace.
Right. So I'm kind of 50-50. I think, Samuel L. is like a overall better actor, I guess.
Right. Now listen.
It's tough.
I'm going to move around a little bit. We're going to go from movies to movies, just like we keep the hip-hop game pure as we can. Speaking of hip-hop, breakdancing. Mm-hmm. We never addressed it as much because it was a big piece of the hip-hop element.
Right.
The breakdancing and shit. You got a cat from the West Coast named Turbo. His nickname was Boogaloo Shrimp.
Right.
Then you got a cat from the East Coast named Lee. He was in a movie called Beatstreet. How do you feel that those hold up? Do you feel like Beatstreet was better than Breakin? Or do you feel like Breakin was better than Beatstreet? And before you answer that, I'm gonna need y'all to like, subscribe, and comment. Tell us what you feel. If you feel like Breakin was better than Beatstreet, let us know that. If you feel like Beatstreet was better than Breakin, let us in on how you feel. But Wax, go ahead and.
Or if you got a dark horse, throw that in there too. Then there might be another one.
Yeah, I mean I don't know.
Right. Them is the main one.
Yeah.
But there's always Breakin' 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Right.
With that old guy in there, like, you ain't taking the center from us. It was centered around him. He was like, you ain't taking this goddamn center. I don't care what you do. Yeah, man. So how do you feel about it, Wax? What do you think, Breakin' or Beatstreet?
Man, I'm probably going with Breakin', man. Breakin' was like more commercial. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think I saw it more times.
Okay.
Beatstreet was dope, though.
See, Beatstreet added a different element to it. It added the spray painting from Ramo. There was death in there. They hooked up that abandoned building and had that party in there.
Right.
Old boy's brother was a DJ, and he was in there with Ray Dawn Chong. Mm-hmm. Remember, we talked about her last week.
Ray Dawn Chong.
She set it off for the 80s,
Shout out to Ray Dawn Chong out this bitch.
I'm picking that one just because of Ray Dawn Chong.
Or, I said that's Cheech's daughter. That's Chong's daughter.
Mm-hmm. It might be Cheech's daughter.
Yeah, he's like, I blended on Chong.
I boned his wife, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I made a baby with his wife. So go ahead. I boned Chong's wife, eh? I was high. What do you want me to say?
I was high. But listen, what do you think, dude?
I've seen both of those movies, but I've never really sat and watched them all the way through. I know that's blasphemy, and I know everybody's gonna be like, "Motherfucker ain't shit."
I can't believe you didn't watch both of them.
I seen them all, but I don't know. Like,
what more important things did you have to do other than watching both of those motherfuckers breaking it down?
Playing outside, I guess. I never watched them all the way through. I've seen them both though, but they're all like the same movie to me, so I can't really give you which one is better. Now
listen, Wax might have a point because they incorporated that girl Kelly in the mix.
But whichever one had Ray Dawn Chong, I'm going with that one.
That was Beatstreet.
All right.
I would have to agree with you only for the simple fact that I think that their battle scenes was way doper.
Yeah.
Like Beatstreet, they had that Ice-T remix beat, their sequence of dancing.
When he was ripping the microphone.
Yeah. It was dope. But you got Crazy Legs out there on Beatstreet, man. Crazy Legs was that motherfucker that just kept. I mean, he was one of them. He was a dynamic performer.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Beatstreet with dude, man, just to but
yeah. But see, y'all sleeping on Breakin' though, because like Turbo and Ozone used to shut it down.
You know what? I would rather watch.
Who had the broom? That was
Turbo. I would rather watch Breakin'.
And then Turbo's, Ozone's joint.
He was with Kelly.
Was a baddie.
No, you're talking about Turbo, the little Spanish joint.
Yeah,
That was in part 2. That was Electric Boogaloo when he broke his leg running with that damn camera equipment.
You're right. I'm telling you, man.
Breaking is a better watch.
So wouldn't that mean it's a better movie?
You would think.
Not really, but because the dancing, man. I think Lee was a bad motherfucker, man. Little Lee, the little cat of the crew. Yeah. Listen. Watching that movie, it had every dynamic of the hip hop scene. They had the gazelles on, they had the windbreaker outfits on, the Adidas shell toes. That was the element of hip hop that Breakin' just didn't bring. Because they had the chucks on, they had the loose hammer pants looking shit. They had it was more rogue. It was a rogue look they had. You know what I mean? It was an 80s feel for sure, but the Beatstreet was a gritty feel. It was grimy. It was waking up 6 o'clock in the morning to a train. You know what I mean? It was smoke in the air. Not smog like Cali, where it's 60 at 6 o'clock in the morning and then 90 at 12:30.
Right.
It was 52 degrees at 6 and it went down. It was 35 degrees when everybody got outside. Like, that was more of a feel I was used to. You dig what I'm saying?
I could dig it.
So you going with Beatstreet? I'm gonna go with Beatstreet. It was Ray Dawn Chong.
It don't matter what I say in here because they're all the same movie to me because I don't remember which one is which. I ain't gonna get on here in front and act like I know which one is one.
They're both, my brother.
I remember watching all of them Saturday morning whenever they came on, on reruns and shit and popping and locking, but I can't remember which one is which.
Right. Now, there was some shit I seen on the internet. It was about the boy Mario. Mm-hmm. The dude that came out with Braid My Hair.
Yeah.
He's a singer. Yeah. Well, he was up there. He was performing on stage, and he invited some girl on the stage.
Right.
So this chick, I guess, wouldn't let him sing to her. She was pushing him and shit like that, which I don't know if he came off too aggressive because he invited her on the stage. Like, this is what happens when you get invited.
Mm-hmm.
So she gave the rose away that he gave her, and then she went to go sit back in the seat. He's like, no. I got another person to come up here and let me sing to. You want to act all crazy. Do you feel like he was wrong for that? For kicking her off the stage and inviting somebody else up?
Hell no.
Not at all.
What's your view on it, dude?
Kick her ass off. She knew what she was coming to the show for.
Right.
She knew what she was coming to the show, and she didn't want to get up there. Then get somebody else that wanted to get grinded on. I guess. I don't know if is he doing the whole Usher grinding on?
Nah, he wasn't grinding, but he was just doing his little act. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I do. I'm Mario, and he even said it up there. He was like, "I'm Mario. Like, how dare you?"
She was probably like, "Man, Let Me Love You" came out in 2001. Like, you ain't about to be grinding on me over some 2001 shit.
Hell yeah. You got to do more to grind on me. Like, I need this light bill paid. She was showing him a light bill.
I got kids.
Right. What about you, Wax?
Nah, kick her ass off the stage and get
right
somebody
there.
up there willing.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody wanted serenaded that night. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like it was an embarrassment to the fan or to Mario? Because Mario is the actor that's performing.
Right.
Or do you feel like the fan's like, damn, I mean, I didn't take your advancements per se. So do I deserve to get kicked off the stage because I'm not going with the script?
Yeah.
Who do you feel's, more at stake or more to get embarrassed in this situation?
Probably the fan.
I feel like Mario, like, motherfucker, you came to see me. You paid all this money to come see me, but yet you feel like I'm doing something that's, out of line because this is a part of my act. I go from city to city to do this.
Right.
So it's like, I invited you up here not to look like I was the object of ridicule, to get looked at like I was stupid, but at the same time, I'm not trying to make any sexual advances.
Right.
This is just a way to compliment you for paying all that money to come see me. Right. Bring you up on stage, give you a little notoriety, and sit your ass back down.
Right. I thought you was a fan, bitch.
Yeah. To me, I feel like Mario was more,
Was more what?
subject to ridicule.
Why you said he should be subject?
No,
to
he
ridicule?
was because she more or less was like, no, I don't. You know what I mean? Like he was doing something that was offensive.
Right. Nah, I mean, I don't know. Either one is she shouldn't have got up there if she didn't want serenaded. She should have just stayed where she was at and said, no, I'm cool. And if she didn't want to, then get your ass up.
Right.
Bitch, as Wax would say.
Oh my God. Didn't he say it
quote,
like Too Short?
Quote Wax.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, bitch.
Bitch, get your ass up out of here.
Snoop Dogg and Too Short heard that, and both their alarms went off. Like when you say bitch a certain way, they get like a notification. It was like, bleep. You're like, and they both looked at it like, my nigga.
Yeah, man. So I ain't mad at either side. Maybe she was just shy and didn't feel like going through all of that. And
keep your shy ass on the ground.
Exactly.
Like this isn't for everybody.
Right. Did you see that shit when Prince kicked Kim Kardashian off the stage?
No.
Did you see that shit? Where
hell yeah. Because she wasn't going to party.
Yeah, she didn't know the words and some shit. Prince was like, all right, give me the mic, go.
But in that situation, she deserved kicked off the stage.
Right. Who don't know Prince?
Like, I'm Prince. You kidding me?
Right. And that nigga told her to fucking beat it.
In a sexy way, he was like,
right.
You know how when a motherfucker nowadays and shit, they get you that right there and they point down, that means that's your ass. Prince invited her off the stage like, listen, we came, we saw, we delivered. You dig what I'm saying? We want to keep you guys in coming back every week with new information, new material, but at the same time, you guys have to subscribe, and leave a comment. We want that feedback. We want to say, we want to see what we got, what we're missing, and what we can bring towards you for the next episode.
Right.
But until next week, we're going to come back, same location, same time, different material. Peace.